Ladies and gentlemen, the show we've all been waiting for. Paranormal Buzz Radio is proud to present REP Paranormal and Friends with your hosts, Kim Purvis and Allison Robinson. Live every Thursday night on Spreaker, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. Be sure to check out their Facebook page, REP Paranormal Busters.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of Paranormal Buzz Radio or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is strictly prohibited. For information on everything Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Listener discretion is advised.
Okay, we got sound bars there.
Okay, we got sound here. Now, all right, let's try this here. All right, so welcome everybody to another night of REP Paranormal and Friends. We have a couple special guests tonight. We have... We got sound bars there. Okay, we got sound here. Oh, I can hear us on there. Okay, so we have Gina Armstrong and Victoria Vanchek on from Haunted History BC. Welcome, ladies! All right, there we go.
All right, we got.
Okay, I think we got it now. I can hear you guys. I'm just hoping that they can hear us. With the out here in La La Land, nobody's answering me right now.
Nobody's in chat yet.
All right, okay, I think we got it now. Okay, you guys might hear a little feedback here. I'm doing a test run. I can hear you guys. I'm just hoping that they can hear us. With the out here in La La Land, nobody's answering me right now.
Nobody's in chat yet.
All right. Okay, I think we got it. Okay, there we go. We got it. Okay. You guys might hear a little feedback. Maybe.
That's a possibility.
Maybe. It's like, oh my goodness. Usually, they beat us into chat, but everybody's being slow tonight. All right. So, why don't you ladies start off with telling us a little bit about yourself and how you guys got into the paranormal? Okay. Oh, uh-huh. Awesome. Yes. Yes. That's awesome. Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because I thought I had read that you guys were going to be in that. And actually, we just wrapped up a short little session with Amanda discussing the Feminine Macabre, and that'll air on September 2nd. So, yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. I think it'll be great. I still have to get the first one. I'm kind of behind the times. I'm kind of behind on all my books. I know. So, I just haven't had time. But that's on my to-do list. Okay, so let's talk about some of your guys's or your ladies' excursions. I know you've had some interesting things that have happened on some of your investigations. And somebody always ends up with torn clothes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh, oh my gosh. Oh. Oh man. Wait until one of them open the door and see you in there. Yes, I saw that. Oh, with... Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. But, yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Right. Right.
Unload your car, and he sees, oh my God, there's a Ouija board in there, and he's like, what for? You know, and he was like freaking out. He was excited over that.
And now I'm kind of wondering, like, why we didn't have it in a bag. Like, we're just traveling with this Ouija board in the back seat.
Oh, my gosh.
And so he said something, you know, he said so he was all intrigued about this Ouija board. And then he started telling us kind of the history of the building and stuff like that. So he said he saw like these miniatures or something. Like he was cleaning and there was like this little bizarre room that had like these little miniature carvings or something like that. And then we just never found out what, because he got like called away to something. So he had to, you know, go somewhere. But we never found out about these miniatures. So.
Yeah, he just disappeared for some odd reason.
And then your room, oh my gosh.
Oh, I know. We were already given keys. We went to our room, and that one just really freaked me out. We actually first went into my room just to take a look how it looks in there. And Gina and her husband were just like checking it out too, and we're like looking that there's a closet in there. So we opened up the closet and we're like, oh, why is there like a single bed cot inside, no windows or anything? Like, who would want to put someone in there? So we started wondering, like, is this for real or is this a joke?
There was like a fully made up bed in there, in this closet. Like, it was a huge closet, but it's like, that was really, really, it was super creepy. We were like, okay, why is there a bed in the closet? That was just the first really strange thing.
But you guys kept freaking me out. You were saying, well, I've never seen that before. Like, you end up with the really weird room. And, so I'm, like, thinking, what the heck's going on?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, I know. And then we tracked down the porter because Victoria's room had also no toilet paper. Now, this wasn't COVID time, so there should have been toilet paper. No
right.
Excuse, but...
Oh, my gosh. What do they expect people to do?
He probably just forgot, but...
Even the porter, too, he was so busy that they had, like, I think a limited amount of staff at that day, too. And I noticed, too, that it took me forever to get my toilet paper.
Oh, my gosh.
But as he was coming up the stairs and everything, he kind of caught us like midway on the landing. We were kind of just hanging out. And he grabbed us for this really bizarre, like sort of impromptu sort of a tour.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And he was telling us about the history of the building, the artwork, and he was like showing us the family crest. And then suddenly like the manager called for him again. And he like literally, I'm not even kidding, like sprinted away mid-tour and down the stairs, and he disappeared. What? And we're like, what just happened there? He's like in the middle of talking to us, and all of a sudden he runs down the stairs, and he like even made a comment. He was like, oh, Manuel, because he was like referring to like Faulty Towers, to like the guy on, Faulty Towers.
Oh my God.
So he was like running down the stairs, and so we kind of joked, and we thought, okay, oh my God, this is so bizarre, because he was kind of very elusive. We asked him about his hotel experience, because he seemed really excited about working at the hotel, but he just kind of didn't want to answer the question about where he worked before, because he said other hotels. But then we were joking about, like, what if the people like running the hotel weren't really the staff, and like they broke out of somewhere, because it really literally felt like that.
Oh my gosh.
It just feels like one of those movies where, like, people from the asylum sort of break out and they trapped everybody somewhere, but they're sort of running the inn. But
oh no, yeah. Oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine. They probably were. They were probably some wackadoos that were just pretending to work.
Well, they were doing some renovations, so to give it to that, it was a great stay though. But I mean, it just felt off from the other times we'd been there. So,
but yeah. You and your husband were there that one time too, and you said that things were smooth and everything was going great. And then, of course, I joined in during the tour. Then again, it didn't seem quite the same. But I do remember too. There were guests there, but we haven't seen many of them.
No,
either.
It was a weekday, so. Yeah. But the Ouija session was good. So, what did you think about that?
That one was pretty creepy. That I don't think I would want to do that again. I remember we took one evening, we figured we'll open up the board, and we were playing around with it. And yeah, your husband was actually making notes as we were having the planchette move along the board. Mm-hmm. And we were in communication with I believe it was a young lady who was, I think, maybe distraught or something, or she was trying to communicate with us that she was probably planning to get married or something. That's the messages that we were
talking. Something that didn't happen. So she was kind of like, it wasn't like a negative energy, but there was like a little bit of an agitated feel. But
yeah.
And after that,
but when we were in your room doing that session,
yes,
and I remember at one point when we were doing the session, we even heard something fall and across the room, and even I think it was your closet that opened.
Oh, it was the coins, right? The coins, that would fell because there was coins. Yeah, that was a really, really bizarre. So there was obviously ghostly activity. So yeah, we had a really good Ouija session. We were kind of excited about it, freaked out. And after that, we sort of felt like we needed a stiff drink. So we wandered downstairs for a nightcap. There was a little bar that was off to the side. So I remember ordering a gin and tonic, but the funny thing that happened there was like the lady was like, well, I'm out of tonic and I'm out of limes. So I'm like,
what?
So I got some weird drink with gin, but it was with club soda and a lemon.
Let's just improvise, right?
So it was kind of funny because I was like, just the whole feel of it was just very bizarre. So yeah, we had our drinks and.
Yeah. And I remember too, she was so frustrated because she couldn't really, find the things that you wanted.
No, she like disappeared for a while. We're like, where did she go? Is she even coming back? Because she like left, and we were like, okay, we're like alone in the bar. There's nobody else down there, and we thought, okay, am I even getting my drink? But she came back, and I see her like pouring a club soda and then grabbing a lemon. I'm like, okay, well, it did the trick. It was booze. It was okay.
Were these people even real? Or was it like a scene from like The Shining or something?
That's what it felt like. Like, okay, it's like Lloyd popped out of the bar or something. Right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then the domino effect kind of continued because about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, like we did manage to get to sleep, but
I wasn't sleeping.
You weren't. Oh yeah, that's right. And you had the light on. You were trying to sleep with the light on.
With like the next we were there, I always had like a light in my washroom. Ever since when I had that closet situation there,
You in closets.
But then Gina, you had the really creepy experience too.
Well, like I heard the doorknob kind of, and it woke me up, and there was like some lady that walked into the room, which
Oh my
was kind of
gosh.
funny.
What?
And she was wearing a nightgown, and it was like, excuse me, can I kind of help you? And she said, oh, I think I've got the wrong room. And I'm thinking, yeah, you do. You sure do have the wrong room. And I thought it was kind of weird because, she came in and out, and and she seemed kind of disoriented. I was kind of disoriented because you're just waking up out of sleep, right? So,
yeah.
But I kind of closed the door, and and then I sort of thought, well, that was kind of weird, and I kind of looked out to see like if she went into a room, but I didn't really see anyone.
Weird.
And so I thought, is she real? Is she a ghost? And the next day, I sort of asked about the rooms and the key situation because I thought, well, who's going to have a key to this room? And they said, well, because it wasn't like key cards, it was just like a regular key because it's an old place, right? So they said, no, there's only 2 keys, and you guys got the 2 keys. And plus they said, well, even if you left the door unlocked, but from the outside, if you shut the door, it's locked, so nobody could walk in. So I was like,
oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a little bizarre.
So what happened there? That was very, very bizarre.
Oh my gosh. I'd freak out. I don't know if I could handle that, having some random person or whatever it was walk in.
Yeah, and she didn't seem like she was like weirded out or anything. She just kind of, and I kind of thought, well, she just must have gone to the wrong room, but it didn't like clue in because you're kind of half asleep, right? So you don't think of, but yeah, so that was a really, really weird stay, but really good. I mean, it was fun, and we had lots of fun sightseeing like in the area and everything, and went to like a haunted cemetery afterwards. But yeah.
The ghost walk was really fun, though.
Oh yeah, the ghost walk was good. Yeah.
That one was a lot of fun.
So, have you guys done a lot of those ghost tours, like the walking ones that they do? Have you?
Yeah, we did. We've done one on the island, and there's a couple local ones here that we've done. So yeah, those are always really a good way to get some history in, some spooky stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say they have a lot of them in Galena, Illinois. And I thought about that at one point. I was like, oh, that'd be kind of fun to do, but I just didn't know if they were worth it or not. I haven't really.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, we think so, right? Fort Langley. You can talk about that one a bit.
Oh, Fort Langley was it was a blast because it's all basically it's recreated. It looks like a fort, and it's beautiful grounds. Just everything about it. The tour guides too. They're dressed in their period clothing as well when they take you around. And I would say it's very informative, and they really are knowledgeable, I have to say.
And it was at night, so you go to a lot of really creepy places.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. We went to a cemetery out there as well. They took us, it was up like about an hour and a half.
Those ghost walks are good, especially if you're like in a city that you don't know very well. It gives you like the highlights, and it gives you a good way to see the city, and you get a little walk in, so that's not bad. So yeah, no, we love the ghost walks, but yeah,
Yeah, and that's the thing, Gina, too. Like, we learn quite a lot, too, of other things that we might not know, and then we start researching further. And like Gina said, it's like a domino effect. Then we start learning other things, find other sites, and we want to go and visit other sites this way, too. Yeah.
Right. I'll definitely have to check into them.
Oh, yeah. No, they're good. And usually the storytellers are really good. So we've had some good ghost walks where the people are really entertaining. And
So let's jump into. I kind of want to hear about the one where you had a seance and in a prison and some other little escapades going on in there.
That one. That one was fun. Go for it. You can start off.
Oh, the one at the prison?
Yes.
Oh, that's an exciting one. Yeah. So the nice thing about it is Gina and I were trying to get a whole bunch of other paranormal investigators together because oftentimes it's really difficult to get a group together.
Right.
I know sometimes, they're a little bit territorial as well. So, I mean, we were fortunate. We got, about 3 groups together?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
We're going to go to this decommissioned prison. So it's obviously no longer functional, but and apparently it's up for sale too. But
it is.
Yeah, so we kind of got in touch with a fellow who has access to this place, and so we thought, okay, fair enough. Let's get a whole group together. There was about 10 of us, I think.
Yeah, 10, 12, something like that.
Yeah, so it was a private tour. We decided we'll book it, and we figured, hey, why not? So we were all gathering up in front of the building, and we're bringing out our equipment. And hey, Allison and Kim, I know that you guys carry a lot more equipment from what I heard, truckloads. But I mean,
yeah. Yes.
we're like real amateurs when it comes to like the investigation part, but we do more the research side of stuff. It's nice to actually hook up with paranormal investigators because we learn from them too. We see what they do and what. But man, they were like bringing everything in. Mm-hmm. They had like loads full of things and everything. So here we are all gathering, and we see a bunch of other random people, right, Gina? Like they're just hanging around a little bit in the.
Because we paid to kind of have it to ourselves, right? So we kind of arrived, and we thought, okay, the person taking care of it's gonna be letting us in, and then all of a sudden, like these other people start coming out, when we're just thinking, oh my gosh, these, all these random people, and they said, yeah, we're kind of shooting a movie in there, which wasn't unusual because we thought, well, a lot of these locations, like around, especially near Vancouver, they're used for filming. A lot of the creepy buildings are used for sets and things like that. So we thought, okay, great, they're all done and everything. They said, hey, you guys have access to the place and everything, and we thought, hey, what do you guys shoot? We got into one of the rooms and we thought, hey, what are you guys shooting in there? And they said, oh, well, it was a porno. So they were shooting an adult film. So they said, but you guys go ahead, like go in. So we were like, a few of us were already there. So we thought, okay, we're going to go in. And this one room was like staged. So it had like this really weird, bizarre orange lighting. It had a bed in the middle and just the bed, nothing else.
Oh my
And
gosh.
just some strange.
Red lights.
Really weird red lights, yes. And then, some people were getting there too. Like a few other people got there, and one of the guys in the group is a writer. So he was like, oh, what's going on in here? We're like, oh, well, they're shooting a porn, and they asked us to be. We were joking with it. We took the opportunity. We were like, they asked us to be extras.
We really messed with him. Poor guy. He was like, he looked at us first like, are you serious?
So that part was funny. That should have just been kind of a clue. But we thought, okay, well, they're going to clear out at some point. So we got in there, and, we started kind of looking around. It's this huge place. It's got like 3 floors, your typical like huge abandoned prison, right? So the top floor is all really nicely remodeled, and somebody used to live there. So we start kind of roaming around and everything. And then, we were down the solitary cells for a while, but trying to do investigations was kind of weird because all of a sudden these people kind of flooded back in because they were intrigued. They were like, oh, ghost hunters. So it's not like we invited you, but here you come.
Oh my gosh.
That's for sure. Everyone's just coming and going around there.
So they were roaming around, and and there was people who kept popping in and out of areas that weren't like part of the group. So we're like, where are all these people coming from? So they kept lingering, and at one point, like, we were sort of a little bit annoyed, right? Because we wanted them to kind of leave because we thought, okay, well, it's really hard to like record anything, or when you've got like background noise. They were pretty loud. They were laughing. They were sort of, they were sitting around in the abandoned bar that was there, and all of a sudden, they started like breaking out the booze.
Oh my gosh!
And they were like saying, "Oh, there's sure some spirits here,"
Oh, brother.
So they had some drinks, and just started kind of having their little kind of like a little weird little party. And the worst part is, like, if you're gonna do that, like, at least maybe offer us a drink.
Right, exactly. Shit, I would have made them pay to be there.
Yes, exactly.
Give me your booze and some money, or get the hell out.
Mm-hmm. So we tried to kind of do our best with it, right? Because we think, okay, now we can go downstairs because we'll just kind of leave them be, and they're probably going to end up leaving, right? So we thought at some point they're going to go, but we did manage to get some good photos. I mean, even with a bizarre ghost hunt, we always managed to like get at least some good photos. We get some, sometimes some good footage and recordings and things. So.
Right.
Yeah, and we went to we went right to the basement there where they had the solitary cells.
Those were creepy.
Oh.
Those were really creepy. Very narrow aisles there and just a few doors there. And so we chose just one room. And Gina whipped out some of her, stuff like our
handheld gear, like the REM pods and the.
There, and also the spirit box came out too. So we just kind of tested a few things out, and I don't know. There was a few, some activity. We were catching some lights. I think what was it? The EMF was going off a little bit.
Yes.
Digital recorder too. Captured some things, but not too much, but a little bit. But then we were just reviewing your photographs, and
we got some creepy photos.
Oh, really?
That one, blew us away because there were images of I guess it looked like a man, and it looked like it could have been maybe like a prisoner or a guard or something.
Yeah, it was like really faint, but you can definitely see an outline, which is kind of is kind of cool. So
yeah, that's cool.
So we did get some things, but we didn't stay as long as we wanted to. So we probably left like after an hour and a half and everything, and then. Afterwards, we heard we really missed the party.
Oh gosh!
So people were trying to do some seances in the actual cells and trying to do some communication. We heard that there was just random people popping in, like all of a sudden these random people showed up, like who were I guess part of the acting group or whatever, but they were a little tipsy and a little maybe something else too. So they kind of would like barge into the rooms and they would kind of stick around for about a couple minutes and then they would run out of the rooms, and then one person in the group.
There was a psychic. We had a medium over there as well.
Yes.
And trying to do her session in one of the rooms with another group of investigators, and the door kept opening and closing because these people just kept checking in what they were doing. So they closed the door on them and locked the door for a while.
Oh my god!
Oh jeez.
So there were some randos, just some random people that we didn't see before. We didn't see. We don't know how they, why they were there, but we heard that it was quite the gong show for a bit.
Oh. Now, did you really listen to your EVPs? Did you check them out, make sure they weren't moans from the porno that they were shooting?
You can't distinguish what the noises are from.
I know. Oh my god. Well, thankfully that wasn't going on at the time. Like they were done with all that, but so it was kind of a very eventful people roaming type of a moment.
Oh my goodness, man. I thought we had some weird things happen on ours, but you guys take the cake.
Yeah, that
Well, and the funny thing is we kind of heard, like afterwards, like there was just some, just like somebody said like, oh, like these really spiky haired people showed up. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm like, okay, so did they just come in off the street? Did they just like get inside the building? I don't know.
Oh my.
You want paranormal activity, but
right.
Not abnormal
activity. Right, exactly. Oh my gosh.
But it was still fun. I mean, we still got a lot of because a lot of times we go for like the photos and the history part too, but it would have been nice to stay longer. But yes, it doesn't always go, but you have to go with the flow because
that's
even
right.
People who are trying to organize it, right? It takes a lot to try to organize something, and you can't always have it perfect, but it was still a really, really funny night. So
it was a challenge, I have to say, because we did have a large amount of people there in a way, and even like the amount of investigators. I have to say, great. That was great that we all got together that way.
Yeah.
So we could do our own thing, and even with the weird disruption.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys did the best that you could with all that. I mean, did you guys go on a full moon or like?
I think it was maybe close to one. I think it was close to a full moon.
Good night. Oh my!
But you just never know. And we didn't think that the building was ever that accessible. So we thought, well, where are all these people coming from? So,
well, there was probably a full moon at one time.
Yes.
Yeah. At one time. Oh,
yeah.
It carried over.
Old abandoned prisons.
It carried over. Yeah, and we don't mind company, but at least if you're gonna hang around and watch us ghost hunt, then kind of keep it down a bit and
respective.
keep it respectful. But no, it was a funny day. But
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so for some of our listeners, Victoria, why don't you? Because I know when Matt jumped in, for some reason, as soon as Matt came in to chat, he said he could only hear me. So they missed your story. I want you to kind of recap. Where are you at right now?
Oh my God. Okay, so I had to turn back. I was on the road and there was a big traffic jam. And I had a feeling I'm not going to make it for this podcast. So I ran back to work. And I'm sitting here right now in a closet, in my office closet. And I'm surrounded by styrofoam, and I've got, and one of my tables is a makeshift table here, and it's like some sort of weird aluminum roll that I have. So my phone's sitting on that, and I've got boxes around me, and I can't barely move, and I've got Lysol wipes around me. So yeah, this is a closet. So
It does have food.
It does have food, so if you do
there
get
are
stuck in there.
Doritos, so you're not going to starve. It's like a bunker.
I'll take them too, because I think I deserve them, but I will have to go to Gina's after this because she made cupcakes. So
Cupcakes, and I have like a meat and cheese platter. It's all here, and we were a little devastated. We're like, oh my God, you're not going to make it. So we're glad at least with a speakerphone thing, but this is not the only weird thing that happens to her. So this is a segue.
I know. She's got weird things with weird closets, and somehow she tears the shit out of her clothes. And so, I mean, how does this happen? How do you end up with...
So, the funny thing is, every so often when we go to a place, like where we have a haunted location, but we also like to do some touristy stuff. So... when we were on Vancouver Island, before we got to visit these haunted castles, we're going to go on a walking tour in a castle. But we heard about this butterfly and insect museum along the way, so we were like, okay, yeah, let's stop, let's look around and kind of do the little touristy thing. And it was kind of a cool place because it's all set up like a little rainforest, and all around you there's butterflies, they land on you and stuff like that. And so afterwards we decided, well, we're just going to go to the gift shop and pick up some fun stuff before we head out to our, haunted little getaway. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, Victoria's wandering around. She's feels like she's stepping on stuff. And it's hard, crumbly stuff. And then, so I'm with her and she's like, God, what am I stepping on over here? And all of a sudden she looks at her shoe because she thinks she stepped in something, but it's her actual shoe that fell apart. There's a hole in the sole of her foot. You can see her foot. And what the heck kind of shoes did you bring?
And we were in a gift shop at the time.
We were, and it's
I was thinking, man, that place must have been really hot, or there must have been some pretty strong moths there on the table because they were just taking apart my shoe.
But the funny thing is, we're 45 minutes from the hotel, so we don't want to turn back or anything. So we're okay, this gift shop, does it have some sort of, something? So she luckily found some flip-flop type shoes that were fortunately pretty comfortable.
Yeah, we were actually at the Butterfly World, and then later our plan was to go direct to a botanical garden. Mm-hmm. And everybody rants and raves about this beautiful botanical garden when you're on the island there. Uh-huh. So it is huge, you guys. It's so huge. It's beautiful. You can spend more than half a day there.
Wow.
And, I lose a shoe, and then we plan to do this trip. So I'm going to walk through the garden without a shoe. So this is why we first decided to go to another gift store than on where the garden was, right? Mm-hmm. So there. And the first thing we were thinking of going to the gift store, and I had to look around, but it was a big gift store, so I couldn't do anything. So I looked for somebody who worked there, and I asked if you guys sell a pair of shoes. The girl goes, oh, yeah, over there, but they're just sandals, flip-flops and stuff. So, and I'm okay, well, that will do. So here I am sizing, testing all these shoes. So finally I picked out a pair, and, so I'm walking around with flip-flops for more than half a day throughout the garden. So was it. But, hey, I survived.
And that's not the only time. So the other time that we were going to do, we were at this beautiful, really nice Gatsby-style mansion and everything, and there was, tales of, ghostly heads floating, and people hear things, and we're having a great great visit, spooky activity, which was good. We had a wine cork thrown at us, which was kind of interesting.
Oh, wow.
We heard a voice and all that, but then we were going to go on a walking tour, and so we went through, and there's a couple castles on the island, so we can actually kind of, look through them and everything, and you can go on a little haunted tour, and they can tell you about them and everything. And so we got done with that, went back to the room, and all of a sudden, Victoria's looking at her hat. She's got this sort of like a, it's like a wicker type hat, like a,
right.
But it was like torn from the top and the rim, like all the way around, and it, like the seam is all split, and we're like going, "Oh my God, how did this happen?" And we're laughing because it's a newer hat too, right? You just got it when we were on when we were boarding the ferry.
Oh my gosh.
And I love that hat because I bought it actually when we boarded it. It was at the terminal, and I thought, man, this actually fit well. It was like already like it was a hat just for me. Like it just felt, and I loved it. And yeah, after that tour, I don't know what just happened.
And then the downtown location, remember?
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Oh gosh. She's gonna be walking around in her birthday suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Because with the downtown location, we did like a celebration too, but we were going somewhere spooky. But we happened to be in a limo because we were doing celebrating something, and it was winter time.
Yeah, so I had my gloves on too as well. So and same thing. I don't know what happened after the tour. Gina keeps looking at me like, why am I trying to search for
She's like digging through her purse like obsessively. I'm like, what's going on?
I just somehow lost my pair of gloves.
She lost her gloves. So every time we literally go there, there's like some piece of clothing that doesn't make it back.
You're going to have to start wearing layers so that way...
Exactly.
That way you don't end up in your skivvies,
So we call it the Haunted History BC curse because it's like that's always like some casualty, like some piece of clothing that just doesn't make it through the ghost tours.
It's like always after when we visit a location, and it's always during our paranormal research. Like every time we go somewhere, and then shortly after, I realize either something's falling apart, or something's broken, or something. During the time when we're there, something's falling apart all the time. I'm not sure.
And then you had the purse issue.
Oh yeah.
We're finding we just keep looking at the floor, and there's like specks of black or something just like mice droppings. But for some reason, when she had her purse on her shoulder, it was kind of rubbing against her. But the whole front of it, the side of it, was just crumbling. It looked like it was out in the sun and cracked for a decade, but it was a new purse.
Oh my gosh.
And it started to shred. And we're like, oh my God, she just took this out for the trip, and it was just crumbling.
Either I got bad taste in clothes,
and it's not like it's cheap stuff or anything, but we just die every single time something happens like that. We can't even contain ourselves. We're crying. We were laughing so hard.
And once again, we're doing our podcast here, and then all of a sudden...
then you're in a closet.
You're hiding in a closet with Lysol and Doritos.
But you still got your clothes on, right?
I do, but my shoes are off, so...
Your shoes are... Well, that's okay, because, you're lounging.
Good.
So the janitors don't lock me in here.
Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh, yeah, you don't want that.
A good thing it didn't happen when they were making the porn that something happened with her clothes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been bad.
Your clothes just start, ripping here and there, and next thing you know, no shirt, no pants.
Yeah, and I'm sure everybody's got similar stories out there. When you do that many things that you're trying to organize, it doesn't always, go perfect. So I'd be kind of curious to see, nobody ever talks about that, because when you see the TV shows,
Yeah.
Everything looks perfect, and all the
Right.
equipment goes off at the right time when you're trying to, because of course they put lots of time into filming all that stuff, but
Yeah.
you never see like the haunted bloopers. Like, really, that's what they should show.
I know. Oh my gosh, it would be so fun to watch all that stuff. I don't think we've had. I mean, I think the only time I had anything happen to my clothes was at the women's club. I went to go sit down on the stage, and I tried to get back up, and I hear this rip right on my ass. I was walking around with a hole in my ass, and then everything went down south from there the rest of the night. We talked. It was like we talked about semen, and we talked about buttholes. It's just like, whatever.
God.
You just never know what's gonna happen.
That's the portal you don't want.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
At least it wasn't a very big hole, but still.
But
It
it
was-
happened
Well,
at the
yeah,
beginning.
I know, it happened
Like
towards the
red,
beginning.
ripping pants. Oh my God. Yeah. No. So yeah, there's stuff that happens.
Start hearing something rip.
Oh my God. Well, and then you're trying to meet up with people, so that's another funny thing. The shipyard, remember that one?
Oh, that one too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one was a cool place. That one was actually interesting. It's rich in history, and there were actually several buildings out there, which was they were cool. But even during COVID, certain buildings were closed off. So Gina and I were lucky that we were able to visit a few. And it's basically, I think there was like a Japanese bunkhouse over there, a manager's house, and an old fishery. Like it was an old fish, like a cannery.
Oh yeah, you could spend lots of time there.
Yeah, we spent just hours there. So, but yeah, and I was texting my friend because he was supposed to meet up with us because he kind of loves doing this stuff too, and he wanted to sort of visit sites that we're going to. And I'm telling Gina that, okay, so he's going to probably come soon. And, I gave him the location, so that's all good. And then, so in the meantime, Gina and I are taking in the tour, and we go into the shipyard. And it's a beautiful shipyard. It's very old. And so we were checking out all the artifacts. And so in the process, as I'm waiting for my friend, remember we were actually decided to just pull out our digital recorder?
Yeah, we did some we did some recorders, and because we had some a little bit of activity on the EMF, like it was around the ropes and like where they made like the ropes for the ships, and they had a lot of cool displays out, and so we had some activity, and there we did some recording sessions, but we didn't actually realize we got an EVP until afterwards. So we did get a very, very clear voice that said hello.
Yeah.
And you
Oh,
could hear it
wow.
a couple of times, and blew us away. That was the first, I think that was the first and only time so far that we've got like a really clear one where we can say that it's an actual voice.
Yeah.
And there was nobody else around, so.
No, not at all.
That's
And
amazing.
just to sort of paint the picture, though, the shipyard, it used to have a lot of Japanese workers there, too, and this was back in the late 1800s.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And pretty much most of them were eventually then sent to internment camps in there, like in the 1940s.
Yeah, during the
So-
war.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so even with the history side of things, we actually research quite heavily, and there's always sometimes obviously like the ugly side of stuff too, like of the history too. So, but I mean, it goes hand in hand, and we like to actually share that information. So, either the positive and the negative side of things.
But it was a fascinating place. But yeah, and then the funny thing was, so as we were, we were kind of roaming around, and we're thinking, okay, now this friend should be showing up. And so he texts my sister, and he's like, well, I think I'm here. Where are you guys? And it's a kind of a huge place, so we're trying to give him directions. And he's like, well, I'm at this location, and I'm at that location. And we're like, well, we're yeah, because we're at the shipyard,
Uh-huh.
and after texting for a while, we realized he was at a whole different museum.
Oh no! Oh my gosh!
Oh.
Oops!
phone died as well at that point. My phone actually died.
Yes,
And
then you have the
so-
equipment malfunction. Yes.
Yeah, and then Gina's using her phone to text him to tell him the directions where to, how to get to our place.
But yeah, there was a couple museums kind of in the same proximity, like probably 5 minutes from each other. So he went to the different one. So sometimes, that was kind of funny too, but
Oh my gosh!
trying to make sure that everybody shows up at the same place would
Right.
be kind of tricky.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah. So that was a funny one too.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I would say all things considered, though, most of our adventures are really fun. So you got to kind of go with the flow.
Absolutely.
And plus, too, like every time when we go to places, too, like it kind of adds to it. If something kind of unusual happens, like even with this funny thing, it still is good, like, because it gives us an experience, so we can at least share that and have a good laugh about it, too.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Now, have you ever had anything, I mean, besides the weird ghost people in the hotel, have you had anything that has really kind of spooked you?
Yeah, I would say, people always kind of, have like their scariest moment. I would say, well, let's say, I'm not going to say scariest or spooked us, but something that was really kind of a profound experience was when we visited the trenches.
Oh, yeah.
So we visited these trenches, and that was like, from the moment we arrived, I would have to say we had kind of equipment malfunctions. I like the classic stuff you would see. Like, we couldn't even believe it was happening. We got out of the car. We're taking pictures of this one train car that is in front of the location, and like your phone started pixelating.
Right, and I actually was taking pictures of this train car, and I just wanted to, get some good angles there. So the minute I just held up my phone, and this was out in the open, of course, so there was like electrical disturbances or anything, and my phone started pixelating, and so Gina came running back, and she was like looking at it too, so she started videotaping.
I did get the video, yes.
Yeah. So and then wondering like what's going on, and then it just went back to normal. So then we went inside the museum, because there is a beautiful museum in there too, and we were in an area where there was a photograph of a train robber that is quite famous. His name is Billy Miner, William Miner. And so I was just around the artifacts, and there were newspaper clippings of him, and I wanted to take photographs of that. And again, my phone started to pixelate. And I thought, well, that's kind of odd. But I mean, my charge, it was all good, no problem. Like,
and when does the phone ever do that? Like, we use our phones all the time, right? So it was kind of interesting. But then we got out in the back, they had like the trenches, and like where you could sort of have a reenactment of almost like see what, people went through in war times, and where, the soldiers were, and where the bunkers and everything. But, we had like the video recorder died, the voice recorder died, like everything like just was dying. So I would say that was like, we came out of that one thinking like, wow, like, yeah, this stuff really happens. Because, you see it happen on TV. Right. You're like, oh, does it really, really happen like that? It really happens. So I would have to say that was our maybe not the most scary place, but the most charged place that we've been. Like, it had a lot of vibes about it. So that was the one that sort of really stuck out in our minds. We would love to go back there.
Very cool.
Well, yeah, and do actually a little bit more investigation with more equipment this time.
Yeah, it would be fun.
We're not all really like, equipment savvy with that, but we have a few items that now Gina also purchased, so we figured we'll actually take them.
Yeah, since then we've got like the Spirit Box, we got the REM pod, and we've got, like the Polaroid camera. So we've got a few. We added a few things to our ghostly itinerary, but mostly it's like the handheld stuff. We don't like set up like night cameras or anything. We don't have like an SLS. Someday I would like to have an SLS, and I would like to have maybe like an Ovilus or something. That seems kind of cool, right?
Yeah, Kim's over here shaking her head. Yeah, we got them. Yeah, she has them, but her SLS is
kind of in pieces right now.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It hit the concrete.
Yep.
Oh shoot! Yeah, they're not cheap either. So
no.
Oh no.
It still works. It's just I just got to do some gluing.
She's good at gluing things back together.
Hey, maybe that's the secret for your clothing. We need to travel with glue.
Yes, there you go.
Glue and duct tape.
I carry super glue with me all the time.
Duct tape fixes everything.
It does.
It sure does. Watching Red Green as I grew up. What do you always say? If women don't find you handsome, they'll sure find you handy.
Exactly.
I had to go there. So do you ladies have any investigations or anything coming up soon, or any events that you're going to be taking part in?
We do. We just booked a couple of them today.
Yes, I saw that.
One you can only get there by water, so we actually booked a boat charter to go
wow.
at the end of August, and we're going to go to 2 abandoned power stations, so it's going to be kind of cool. So they're supposed to be haunted. There's some activity, but you can only get to them from. There is a hiking trail, but it's kind of a more treacherous trail. So we kind of thought, well, we'll do the boat route. That'll be kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
And
absolutely.
then what's the second? Well, what's the other one we have? Oh, we're going to back to the island. We haven't been to Vancouver Island again. So there is a historic house that is now a museum that we're going to check out. That has that is known for haunted activity. Other paranormal groups have checked it out, and so we're excited. Yeah, awesome. We've got about 2 or 3 locations coming up. Like we planned up until about mid-September-ish. So
yeah, I think we're booked, and well, we might have one in December, depending on weather. But
depending on the weather, our last one will be in December.
Yeah.
Because we don't usually like to do them in winter, but if the weather's okay, then we're like, why not?
Yeah, and it depends if it's close by or inside, right? Sometimes you can get to places, but yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, we've got some fun places to go to, so we're excited.
I can't wait for that.
There's always a cemetery or 2 that we can always visit too.
Yeah.
Those are all cool to see.
Yeah, we love cemeteries, so that's always a good spot.
Remember, carry glue and duct tape. You never know what's going to fall apart.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you guys are going on a boat ride. You better take some extra.
That could be a whole other adventure.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be interesting because that boat ride, I tell you.
We won't freak the captain out. Hey, you're traveling with some jinxed people here. So.
You might have to end up taking a raft.
Yeah.
And then you'll find Wilson. Wilson will be your friend.
Oh my God. Well, we hope not to get stranded. So.
Yes. We'll hope the best.
Let's hope not. We'll hope the best.
Yeah.
Safe journey.
All right, and then just before we start wrapping things up, just a recap here of everybody who was just listening. You ladies have an article coming out in the Feminine Macabre.
We do.
And then you ladies have a book that's also in the works?
We are in the midst of writing a book. Yes, it is called Evenings and Avenues, Hauntings in the Outskirts. And also, shortly posted on our website will be another calendar, because we love doing spooky calendars. It's called Dead Things.
Oh.
And it's not kind of gruesome as it sounds. So it's like folklore, legends, and things like superstitions from all around the world with our original photography. So yeah, it's a 12-month, and so people can find a lot of that stuff on our website. So yeah,
very awesome. And
stuff over there as we go. So we'll put out everything there too, and Instagram and Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what handle can they find you ladies on your social media, and what is your website?
Go for it.
Oh, our website is hauntedhistorybc.com. So hauntedhistorybc as BritishColumbia.com.
And then Twitter is @hauntedhistory2 with the number 2. And Instagram is haunted_history_BC.
Yes.
So come find us there.
Yes.
You can keep in touch with our spooky adventures and all our writing and everything. And so, yeah.
Be very awesome.
As you go and do your investigations, tell us a little bit too, as
we love other people's stories. So if you've got a story, awesome.
Oh yes,
we got lots.
We have stories. That's a whole nother show there. But okay, so one question that we ask, and I'm sure you've heard it, so maybe you've had time to think about it. But one of our listeners, Darren, asked this, and he keeps a poll. So, what is the one object in this world you would not want to be haunted?
For me, this is Gina. I'm going to say toilet.
There you go.
No haunted toilets. Get a little spooky.
Yeah, for for sure. For me, Victoria, I probably would say my car.
Okay. Those two I think are pretty
At the top.
Yeah, the toilet I think is number 1. Car's got to be up there. I know I picked car on a
I think he said it's 1 or 2 or 3
yeah.
for car.
Yes, I would not want either one of those things to be.
Yeah,
haunted.
we've heard some colorful answers. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep, I know. Totally shocked me on that one. I was like floored, but I was like, okay, all right, it's all good. Anything goes on our show.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
All right. Well, real quick here, I'm just going to give a shout out to everybody who was in chat tonight. Well, we had myself, we had Kim, we had Matt, Mallory, Darren, Nico. I know Allie was up there. She really wasn't in chat, but I could see her up there in the bubble listenings. So thank you, everybody who was participating in chat. Thank you for everybody who was not in chat, but listening. We appreciate each and every one of you.
And we need to send out our prayers to Shay. She's kind of under the weather tonight. That's why she wasn't in. Just say a short prayer for her, just to get better.
Yep. She's
just under the weather right now.
Yep, exactly. So send some positive vibes her way, and hope everyone who's going out and investigating this weekend has a fun and safe trip. Kim and I are heading out tomorrow night.
With her daughter on her first one.
Yeah, my daughter's going to the Granger house. So we'll see, because, mannequins, dolls, we have a thing for those. And that place is full of mannequins. So we'll see what happens there.
And Friday the 13th to boot. Oh,
yes.
I know, right? So I hope we don't have any missing clothes or anything happen to us. We don't get put in jail. Or
we want a nice, smooth time for
That's
her first
right.
one. We don't want to spook her out yet.
Yeah, we don't want to spook her out yet. But we'd like to thank our guests, Gina and Victoria, for joining us. It was a pleasure talking to you. Hopefully, we'll get you out of that closet here soon. So.
A lot of the janitors are already giving me a dirty look, so I think I gotta leave.
Yeah.
Time's up.
Time's up.
Set the alarm, or I'm gonna have to stay here and sleep here on the styrofoam.
No, I don't think we want that. All right, everybody, have a good night and peace out.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to REP Paranormal and Friends. Be sure to check out Kim and Allison on Facebook at REP Paranormal Busters.